Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Hockey TITTH number 132. I'm your host, Justin Bruni. I got Nick Davis with me tonight. How we doing, Nick? Happy Monday. How we doing, sir? He's muted. There he is.
Rookie mistake. Sorry, guys. First day. Doing all right. Glad to be talking hockey.
Yep. Welcome to it, everybody. Be sure to slam on the like button and share the video. Follow us on YouTube / Take It to the Hizzy if you already haven't. Got a good slew of hockey up tonight. Nice little game slate here. How are you looking, Nick? How was your rest of your weekend?
Rest of my weekend was chill. Just sat around, played some NBA 2K, and that was about it. So went to sleep, but that was it.
How are your Hawks looking?
My Caps.
Hawks, sorry.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, they just lost to the Bruins, but Bruins had had Taylor Hall edition, so glad to see that he's doing well and helping the team. Sucks that my Caps ran into him, but at this point it's just like we'll beat him in the playoffs and give him a strong showing for sure.
What was under their skin yesterday, man? I mean, the Caps looked like they were out for blood, like they had foil on their hands, like they were looking like they were ready to murder the Bruins. Like Tom Wilson got away with probably like the biggest headshot of the year for sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I guess they hate the Bruins. I thought the hate was really towards Pittsburgh, but if they are changing the rivalry, then so be it. But if you're going to come out that way, you got to do a lot better than a 6-3 shellacking.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty brutal. That game, though, a lot of lead changes. Bruins up 2-0, then Caps went up 3-2, and then big dive for the Caps. They let up 3 straight, lost 6-3, like you said. I had the Caps at plus 1.5 in that game, so I was really enjoying it till about midway through the game, and then they just completely, face dived in the third period. Just needed 1 goal to cover, but couldn't quite get it. With my Hawks, coming off a nice win up against Detroit, I've cashed not on the Hawks, but in the last 2 Hawks games. Last game, I took the Hawks money line winner, and then the game before that, when they played Detroit and lost, I did have Detroit on the plus 1.5, so been pretty profitable on the Hawks. Tonight, I do like them to cover the plus 1.5 going up against Nashville. I believe they're in Nashville. They need a win. Nashville has 1 more game up on them, 2 points ahead in the standings. We're going to get to some NHL playoff talk here at the end of the show, but the Hawks are in it. They're in the midst, so we'll see what we can get out of them tonight. I'm watching the preview of that game right now, waiting for that one to start. Had on Tampa and Carolina before that. That game was a little bit slow to start out, but let's get into some of our Monkey Knife Fight props. We can jump into that. If you guys haven't signed up with Monkey Knife Fight, please be sure to do so. You can use promo code TOTHEHIZZY if you're interested in prop bets and fantasy alike. You'll definitely enjoy yourself. We'll give you some demos here now. Let's take it from the top. What do we got, Nick?
So we have Jason Robertson from the Stars, who's the winger, playing against Detroit, going against Dylan Larkin for the center, or the center for Detroit. Larkin has 0.5 fantasy point bonus. Man, it's kind of hard because I don't really believe in Detroit. I mean, I thought they were going to have a lot better showing. Not trade away Mantha because I thought he was like part of that crew going up.
Give me some Mantha, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that he's on the Caps. I'm going to say Robertson, though, in this one, just because I don't have hope for Detroit.
Yeah, Robertson has actually been on fire, so that half point doesn't scare me at all. I'm firing up Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson in a stack tonight in DFS, so I'm very confident in that pick. Who's the other one in that game?
The other one is Jamie Benn, the winger, versus Rupe Hintz, the other winger. Hintz has a 0.5 fantasy bonus.
You already know where I'm going. I'm going Rupe.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Rupe. Go that way. I feel like Jamie Benn's been not as productive. Am I wrong on that? I thought he was on like the trading block.
No, I mean he's been a little bit better recently, but overall this season is pretty underwhelming for Jamie Benn. Standards, we'll say.
Yeah. The next one is Juice Saros, the goalie for the Predators, over under 26.5 saves. I'm gonna say he's gonna face a lot because I feel like Chicago's really got to pepper him to try and get a win.
Yeah, Saros has been on fire. It's going to be a tall order for the Hawks tonight. That's why I just have him covering the number rather than taking the money line. I'm going to say he hits the over on that. I think the Blackhawks do get a lot of shots on net tonight. They're going to outshoot Nashville, but they may still lose by one. Nashville has been very, very good recently. I think it's like 11-4 in their last 15 or something like that. 12-4 in their last 16. They've been very, very good, surging. Did I lose you again? We lost him. Your mic again, buddy.
Sorry. Let me see. Patrick Kane, 0.5 assist over under against Nashville. Give me the over. He's going to have to try and generate some offense.
I got to say the under, Nick, because I need it. I really, really need it. I somehow, Nick, made it to the fantasy hockey playoffs. First time ever I've ever been in a league where they've put in the 8 seed. Now, mind you, I'm the 8 seed. That doesn't sound great, right? But I'm third in the league in points, so I deserve it. If there's an 8 seed that's ever deserved it to be in the league, it's me for sure. But I'm going up against my brother who's number 1 in points. I'm third, so he's got Patrick Kane. I need Kane not to get it. I need Kane to slow his roll a little bit tonight. So I'm going to go against it.
OZ was definitely right about you having a chance. I was, you were crying all year about your point differential and your record, like how the disconnect wasn't there.
You're not wrong.
I wasn't trying to be mean, but it was upsetting. I understand that, so I'm glad that you made it to the playoffs. Maybe some brotherly love. You can show OZ, how to really play fantasy hockey.
Well, coincidentally, he has a knack for just bouncing me out of the playoffs. So. I think the last 2 times I've made it to the finals, he's beat me. So,
gotcha.
So we'll see how round 3 goes.
So did we actually go over Patrick Kane? It was 0.5.
I said I took the under. I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over because there's going to have to be offense generated. So
probably going to happen, but I need it, so I'm going against it. Let's go.
All right. So the next one is Jacob Shikarin, the defender for the Yotes, against Kirill Kaprizov, the winger for the Wild. Kaprizov has 0.5 fantasy points. Give me Kaprizov.
Yeah, man, they must not trust the Wild tonight. I got to go Kaprizov, especially with the half point. We'll get a lot of shots on net. Kulick had a goal, I think, the last time they played Minnesota, so maybe they're leaning on that a little bit. Gets a good amount of shots on net, but I'm still going to go Kaprizov, despite I do actually have the Coyotes taking home a win tonight. I like that plus option for them.
Okay. Next one up is Kevin Fola. Fiala, the winger for the Wild, against a defender for the Wild, Jason Spurgeon. Spurgeon has 0.5 fantasy point bonus. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Spurgeon. I'm going to go with the advantage there. Give me the half point.
Ooh, give me the winger. Just give me the offense. I believe in that. So next one is Max Pacioretty, the winger for the Knights, going against Brent Burns, the defender for the Sharks. Burns has 0.5 fantasy points.
Give me Max. I got Max. I had that whole line 1 in a stack tonight. So Chandler Stevenson, Max Pacioretty, and Mark Stone. I have them all lined up tonight. So give me those guys across the board in every format I can get.
Has San Jose actually been keeping the steam with Jones as goalie?
They're doing okay. We'll get to them in a bit, but they're in a losing streak right now. I think they've either lost 4 or 5 in a row. So I'm going heavy Vegas tonight. I like Vegas on the money line as well. Kind of previewing the picks here. It's one of my best bets tonight. Vegas and the Flames on the money line.
Okay, I'm gonna go Max Pacioretty too. Let me see. Oops. And then next one up is Alex Petrangelos, the defender for the Knights, going against Evander Kane for the Wingers. Kane has 0.5 fantasy bonus.
Give me the Knights heavy in this one. I think the Knights are going to shut them out, to be honest. 5-0, 4-1 type of game.
Yep, give me Petrangelo. Jeez, killing me.
Petrangelo.
Yep, that was the last one from Lucky Knife Fight.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Let's jump over to the numbers. We're going to be using the opening numbers for these games. Please, if you haven't had the opportunity, please smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on YouTube, /Take It to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, first game up. This one's already started. We've got the Hurricanes traveling to Tampa Bay. Hurricanes coming in as road dogs, +1.5 on the puck line. Over-under is at 5.5 goals. Hurricanes +100 on the money line. Lightning have not been great. They're only 5-5 in their last 10. I like Carolina in this one. Who do you favor?
Ooh, give me Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Some interesting fact or trends.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay is 15-5 straight up in their last 20 games at home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they are 11-2 in their last 13 games played on a Monday. Give me Tampa Bay. Let me see. Is there any injuries? Stamkos is always on there. I'm gonna still take Tampa Bay in this one. Uh, right now it is 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
But the trends right now are going for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I can still see that they're the better team, overall on the year. Carolina, they've been doing pretty good recently, 6-3-1 and straight up in their last 10, but they don't like to cover. They're 5-15 on the road. ATS this season doesn't heighten for a lot of upside, but because of Tampa's recent woes, I am going to take Carolina plus 1.5. I think they at least cover. I do think there's some good value though still on the money line. They came in at plus 100, only down a goal. We'll get to some live options here at the end of the show, but I still think that they're a live dog in this one. Give me Carolina. What do you think about the total 5.5?
5.5. Oh, let me see some stats on that. I'm gonna take the over on that. They're just a hair over 5 in terms of like total scoring together in the last 10, like their average scoring.
Right.
So give me the over on that.
I mean, right now it looks like the under. Pregame coming in, though, I probably would have been leaning towards the over. But right now on the game line, live, it's looking like it's trending to the under. So, yeah, coming into the game, I probably would have been on the over as well. Tampa 5-2 in their last 7 to hit the over, but Carolina 4-1 in their last 5. So, style meeting style in this one. We'll get back to this one in the live betting once we close out the show. Next game up that's also already started, we've got the Blue Jacks coming into Florida, coming into Sunrise. At plus 1.5 on the puck line. Total is 5.5 goals. Plus 200 on the money line. Any love for Columbus in this one?
No, not really. Columbus is 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games. They're also 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games against Florida. And they're 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games on the road. So yeah.
So yeah, not looking so good. 2-7-1 straight up in their last 10. Not covering the number. 5-5 ATS straight up in their last 10. Same thing though for Florida. 5-5 ATS, but Florida's just a better team. They're only 6-3-1 in their last 10. Played better spurts of hockey throughout this year, but Columbus is just in a complete tail dive here. Give me the Panthers all day in this one. I actually like the under. Columbus, 5-1 in their last 6, to the over. But Florida 4-1 in their last 5 to the under. I think they're going to be setting the pace in this one, so I'm going the Panthers' direction, trending to the under. What do you think?
So their most recent history shows that it's probably going to go to the under. Like total's gone under in 4 of Florida's last 5 games.
Okay.
But in the history against Columbus, the total has gone over in Florida's last 5 of the last 7 games when playing at home against Columbus. So it's almost like a perfect storm. I feel like for the over to happen. And then also it's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games against Columbus, overall. So I'm gonna say over on this just because of the matchup.
All right, fair enough. All right, next one up, we've got Detroit traveling to Dallas. Detroit coming in at plus 1.5 on the puck line. Total in this game is 5.5 goals. Detroit plus 200 on the money line. I actually like Detroit to cover tonight. They cashed the ticket for me against the Hawks a couple of games ago. I'm going to go their way again. I'm going to say that they're going to cover the plus 1.5. I do not love them on the money line. Dallas is another team that's also been very good, but Detroit 7-3 ATS on the puck line their last 10. I think there's a good amount of value here. I'm going to take them to cover.
I can see that. They are 28-18 against the spread this season. That's pretty good. But I still think that Dallas is going to win straight up. Detroit is 0-6 in their last 6 games playing on the road against Dallas. And they're 3-8 in their last 11 games on the road. So they're not, having great success on the road and not against Dallas at all. So they're going to lose, but they'll probably cover.
I think you and I both have this trend available to us here. Both of these teams, when playing each other in their last 5 sessions, 4-1 to the under. I think that's a pretty heavy smash on the under 5.5 goals in this one.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So following the trends, Detroit's going to cover, but Dallas is going to win.
All right, sounds good. Let's hammer it in. Next one up, we've got my Blackhawks traveling to Nashville. Blackhawks coming in at plus 1.5 on the puck line. Goal total is at 5.5 goals, and the Blackhawks are plus 120 on the money line. I like the Blackhawks on the money line, but it's speaking a little bit too loudly from the heart. Nashville has been very, very good, so I'm very, very hesitant to put some money line on the Blackhawks. Give me the Blackhawks plus 1.5. They're playoff hungry right now. They've been playing, kind of back and forth hockey. I think they're 6-4 straight up in their last 10, 5-5 ATS in their last 10. So kind of back and forth. But in this matchup, coming off a big win up against Detroit, I like them to at least cover, at least win or lose by 1. What do you got?
Against the spread on away, they're 10-4. That's not good. Chicago's 0-5 straight up in their.
You mean 4-10? You mean 4-10? Because 10-4 is pretty good. I like 10-4.
No, 10-14.
Oh, 10-14. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And then they're also 0-5 straight up in their last 5 games against Nashville. They're 1-6 when playing on the road against Nashville. So against the team that's kind of streaking right now, I wouldn't say that Chicago's going to win. And the trends are saying that they aren't going to cover probably because they're on the road.
Icky. I hate it. No, thank you. We're gonna win this one out right now. Now I'm just hammering it down. You've made me upset.
Are you doubling the bet?
I'm gonna have to now. No, I mean the Hawks. I really like what they put together since the trade deadline. We got Vinny Hinostroza back, 5 assists in his first 6 games as a back as a Blackhawk. Can't say first as a Blackhawk, but back as a Blackhawk. He's doing pretty well. Stillman's doing okay on defense. We'll say okay. Connolly got an overtime goal last week up against, was it Nashville? It may have been Nashville. I'm not sure. I can't remember who it was. Last week in overtime, I can't remember who the Blackhawks played. Connolly got the overtime winner with a changeup. It was awesome. I cashed the ticket on it. It was great. So give me the Blackhawks in this one to at least cover the puck line. But you are right. There's a ton of upside for Nashville to take this home with a money line win. All right, next one up, we've got, I believe, Minnesota and Arizona here. If I can get it properly pulled up. Yep, the Wild traveling to Arizona. The Wild coming in as road favorites, minus 1.5 on the puck line. Over/under is at 5.5 goals. And the Wild are minus 155 on the road in Arizona. I like Arizona here, Nick. They're coming off a win up against St. Louis. They cashed that ticket for me. Typically, when they're playing well, they get a couple wins in a row, and then they maybe lost, 3 or 4 in a row. So I like them to take home back-to-back wins. The Wild, they've been really good, and I'm going kind of against the trends here because the Wild have had the Coyotes' number, so far this year. I think the Coyotes only have 1 win against them, and typically the Wild have even covered the 2-goal number. So it's not much of a trendy pick, but more of a hunch pick. Give me the Coyotes, and I like the plus option. The plus 1.5 though is very safe in my opinion.
So Minnesota is 8-1 straight up in their last 9 games against Arizona. They are 13-7 straight up in their last 20 games this season. I'm gonna say, when you mentioned that that they beat St. Louis, I was like, man, that's a very low bar though. That's not a good team to be like, oh yeah, we really suck it to them. It's just they're a bad team. I will
say that the Blues have corrected themselves, at least before, when they were on their real big nosedive and I was, cashing ticket after ticket on them. I mean, I did just do it yesterday, or 2 days ago when they beat them 3-2. At the same time, the Yotes are, kind of in a playoff hunt. Not the same division as the Blues, is it? Yeah, same division as the Blues. So they're actually 1 point ahead of the Blues right now. So they're in that mix. They're actually in the playoff picture right behind Minnesota. They're just a team that's on the bubble. We'll kind of get to some bubble teams here later on that I'm giving a little bit more credence to here as we're approaching the playoffs.
Yeah. Also, Arizona's 1-4 in their last 5 games. They did have a win, like you mentioned, against St. Louis, and they could double up. But with the streak before of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row, and Minnesota was one of those losses for them, I'm going to say that Minnesota's going to win.
Yep, I hear you. I mean, Minnesota's been the better team all year. I'm just playing the hunch on the Yotes. So tread lightly on that, folks. Tread lightly on that. All right, next one up, we've got Montreal and Edmonton. Let's see, Montreal coming in as a road dog, plus 1.5 on the puck line. Goal total is at 6 goals even. I hate that, staying away. Canadiens plus 115 on the money line. Who do you like here?
I like Edmonton. Edmonton is 13-6 their last 19 games when playing at home against Montreal. They're 7-0 in their last 7 games at home. And they're 12-6 in their last 18 games. So Montreal has kind of been sliding. They're like 5-2 in their last 7 games. So that's pretty bad. I think Edmonton's going to take it to them tonight.
I want to pick Edmonton. I want to pick the over. I'm completely staying away. Every time I bet against Montreal, they always stick one in my eye. Like I'm just staying away from this one. Gun to my head, give me Edmonton money line. Give me the over. Wouldn't even you can just blow my head or blow my brains out on the puck line. I'm not. No thanks. I'm not picking. Sorry. Give me the over. Give me the money line as a dirt pick. But I don't love this matchup. And just realistically, the Canadiens always play stinker to me. So avoid, bet it live, stick with it live.
I'm going to say the under, though. Total's gone under in 8 of Edmonton's last 8 games. And 6 of their last 6 games against Montreal. And then 5 of their last 5 games. So I'm going to say the under.
Edmonton 8-0 to the under in their last 8 games. This is why I just feel like it'll be flipped. I don't want to mess with it. The trends are like way heavy on the under. So I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, everybody's betting on it.
So when it always flips, when they always flip the number. All right, next up we've got Ottawa traveling to Calgary. Ottawa coming in as plus 1.5 on the puck line. Goal total is at 6 goals. I like the under. Plus 180 on the money line for the Senators. What do you think about this one?
For me, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say Calgary is gonna win. Let me see if there's any stats on it. I mean, both these teams aren't exactly the best teams in the NHL. But just seeing in their most recent games, Calgary's beaten Edmonton, Toronto, and Montreal, and then lost to Montreal in their last 4 games. So I think they're riding a little high, and I think Ottawa won't be able to handle the pressure that they put on them.
Yeah, I'm fully in on that as well. I like the under in this one. What is it? Ottawa 10-4, last 14 to the under. Calgary 4-1 in their last 5. I'm going heavy on Markstrom tonight. Calgary goaltender. Got him in DFS, so I'm pretty heavy on that. Heavy on the under. So give me the under 6 goals. Ottawa, I don't think they cover. I think this is kind of like a 3-1 game, 4-1 game. So give me Calgary straight up. They're one of my favorite picks tonight on the money line with Vegas as well. So we'll jump into that game now. We've got the Sharks visiting Las Vegas. Sharks coming in as road dogs, plus 1.5 on the puck line. Goal total is at 6 goals. I like the under because I don't think the Sharks are going to score any goals. And we've got the Sharks at plus 215. I've got Vegas and Calgary money line tonight. It's my best parlay. So I'm pretty heavy into this one. Got the Golden Knights forward line straight up on my DFS. Stevenson, Pacioretty, and Mark Stone. And I also flipped in there. No, I guess that was the only one that I flipped in there. I didn't flip in any defenseman. I like the defenseman too. Alec Martinez, Shea Theodore, Petrangelo. Jesus, can't spit it out. Martinez and Theodore, like in the past month, they're the top 2 scoring defensemen, or best 2 out of 3, whatever it is. So I think there's a ton of upside to plug those guys in tonight. Any upside we can give to San Jose here, Nick? Do you think they can cover the line?
They're 15-9 away
On the ACS?
Yeah, against the spread. So I say the trends do lean to that, but man, the trends are just leaning so far for like the money line on Vegas that I would just kind of put a little extra money on that just to make a little bit extra,
Agreed. Heavy on Vegas tonight. Think they're going to smash San Jose. I could see a 4-0, 4-1, 5-0 win from them. Need it. Big time. Let's go, especially for the DFS. All right, let's jump into some fantasy waiver wire talk. If you haven't had the opportunity, please smash the like button, share the video, and follow us on YouTube, /Take It to the Hizzy. First guy up, been probably the 4th time I've said his name on this episode, Chandler Stevenson, Vegas Golden Knights, center and left wing, only 32% rostered. 6 points in his last game, 17, 14, 5. Had a 1-point game, but a 14 game before that. Has 3 goals in his last 6 games, 3 assists across the same spread, +2, +2, +3, -1, 0, and a +1. I mean, he's getting shots on net, gets a fair amount of blocks, plays on line 1. Only 32% owned, Nick. What's the deal here?
I think he just kind of falls in that like spectrum of he's not exactly a star, but he plays for a very good team, and anyone like 1 through 4 on the lines, I would take. So he just kind of gets lost in the sauce, So I feel like that's why he's only 32% roster, but that gives you great opportunity to grab him. I mean, he's plus 6% in the last day, so people are starting to notice.
Yep. Another one that they're really starting to notice, this next one. It says 66% owned, but it was like literally plus 46 in the past week. I'll let you take this one. Big homer.
So, Anthony Mantha, he's the winger that the Caps just acquired. I'm pumped for him. He's a young winger. In his past 2 games, he has 6 points and 11 points. He's gotten 4 goals in a row. So Philadelphia, Buffalo, Philly, and Boston, he's scored every game since he's been on the Caps, which is awesome to see. I mean, I'm glad that there's someone else that is almost like a threat constantly to score besides Ovi. Just takes the pressure off of him. He's a little bit older. Not saying he can't handle it. I mean, it's Ovi, but it's always good to see it spread around. But he gets 6 shots on goal, 3 shots on goal. He gets blocks. He's on the ice more than almost basically 15 minutes a game. So people are starting to notice, and it's a lot better situation than Detroit. So,
oh God,
yeah.
No, I really like him. I actually had him on my team. I dropped him. Yeah, I put him on waivers just because I need all the points I can get this week. I picked him up, I think, for Stevenson, actually. I flipped him around. But I also had him for like 3 goals in a row, like 3 games. So I'm just kind of betting it's going to die off a little bit.
Yeah, it's possible, but I mean, just keep riding them and keep feeding them, to be honest.
Yep, absolutely. Next guy up, another big benefactor of the trade deadline, David Cretchy of the Boston Bruins, getting to play alongside now Craig Smith, another hot name, and Taylor Hall. So he's been profiting quite well. Had 2 goals in his last game, big win up against the Caps. An assist the game before that, an assist the game before that, a goal the game before that. He's been rolling his last 4 games, coincidentally, since Taylor Hall came onto the team, right? So since Taylor Hall's been on, 15 points, 8.5, 15 again, or whatever, 16 if you're rounding. So he's been very productive with his new line mate. And I'll just avert to the next guy, Craig Smith, who has also been banging out the production. 12 points, 3 points, 12, 15, 9, 11, 16, 7 the game before that. Like, the guy is just rolling. That's even before Taylor Hall got there. That's a pretty powerful stack right now, Nick, that David Cretchy, Craig Smith, and Taylor Hall line. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I mean, I didn't like it yesterday because I had the Caps covering, but are you? I'm assuming you're in on both these guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take anybody on the Bruins, and it seems that Taylor Hall actually has been helping. The Boston Bruins, which is great. He has that ability to make an impact, and he's not taking away from any of these guys that are actually productive, and that's a great thing about the addition. Seems to be a boon for him right now.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I picked up Taylor Hall as well. I had him last week. I got him before he even played his first game. So his production actually hasn't been as good as David Cretchy's and Craig Smith, but he's certainly elevating their level of play, creating more offensive opportunities for certain. So, yeah, I'm hammering down both of those guys quite a bit. All right, who's the next guy we got up, Nick?
So the next guy we got up is Ryan Lindgren, the defender for the Rangers. He's only 6% rostered, plus 3% in the last day. But one thing I noticed just looking at the board, he has basically 20 minutes a game. That's awesome. He has availability. His last 3 games, his last game he only had 2.9 points, but the 2 games before that he had 31 points total. So he got 2 assists, 1 goal. He's positive almost every game. Even the game that he was negative, he only was negative 0.1 per 0.1 point. And he gets a lot of blocks. Oh, he's gotten 10 shots on goal in the last 4 games. So that's awesome to see from a defender.
Yep, got a heavy clapper. Heavy clapper from the point, so he's looking good back there. Mixes in the shots on goal, the blocks, and the offense is there recently anyway. So yeah, for only 6% owned, 20 minutes, a game. That's great value. Fire him up all day. I'm an advocate for just streaming defensemen over and over and over. I was running with 3 in Alec Martinez, Shea Theodore, and Aaron Ekblad this year. Now I'm just running 2, and if I have, a couple empty spots, I'll plug in defense. But if not, I'm flying everything towards offense for like points-based leagues. All right, next guy up we've got is, Brett Kulick of the Montreal Canadiens. Another guy, heavy shots and blocks. Only, well, holy hell, this is saying 0% owned. Shots and blocks, just racking up easy points. Last game, 7 points. Game before that, 13.8. Had an assist in that game. 9.7 the game before that. Hadn't had a goal, though. But still, last, 3 or 4 games. 2 shots on goal, 5 blocks. 2 shots on goal, 4 blocks. 3 shots on goal, a block. Shot on goal, a block. Constantly getting that work. The minutes aren't there like Ryan Lindgren, but at the same time, for the limited amount of work that he's getting a ton of volume on the shots and blocks. So a pretty easy play for me. If you have the availability and you just need to plug somebody in, right now he's good for 5 points a game at minimum for a defenseman. I don't hate that. That's for your basement. That's pretty good for your floor.
He seems to be one of those guys that just like it's like those lower level guys and just seeing the team slide. He's like, you know what? When I get in, I don't care what's happening. I'm getting some shots on goal and I'm going to block some shots as well. He's doing everything he can to try and help the team, and it's just helping the fantasy value. So if you definitely have an option to have him stream for you, he'd be a good one.
Rudy, getting active out there. I love it. All right, next guy up we've got is Josh Norris, a center for the Ottawa Senators. Only 12% owned, but he's doing really well recently. Was it 15 points, 8 points, 10 points in his last 3 games? Had kind of a lull there up against Toronto and Edmonton, but 8 points and then 9 points the game before that. He's getting on the board. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games? He's had 3 goals in his last 8 games and another 4 assists to boot. I think that's pretty solid. 7 points across 8 games. I can't knock it. The only downside, he's getting scored on. I mean, it's Ottawa at the end of the day, but he's still finishing these games with positive points despite being in some of, -1, -1, -4. But the offensive production is there. So right now, if you need a spot center start, I think Josh Norris might be your guy. What do you think?
The only thing that scares me away is the plus minus, but he does try and do enough throughout the game to end up with at least positive points, fantasy value wise. So for me, he would be a very last option. If I really didn't see anybody around, I would grab him.
Absolutely love him. Who's the last guy up, Nick?
Last guy up is Anthony Duclair, the winger for the Panthers. Only 13% owned, plus 3% in the last day. But his last 2 games, he scored 2 goals, plus minus of 3 and then 1. And he's got 3 shots on goal. He got a shot block. He's kind of come back and turned it on. 7 points, 10 points, 15 points in his last 3 games. So he's hot. He's just someone that you could really buy low and, sell high in a way. Just get the value that he's producing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been rock solid since returning. I don't know if he had COVID or if he was just injured, but he was missing some time, came back in his last 3 games, assist, goal, and a goal in each game. So I'm firing him up all day. Give me some Anthony Duclair. Plus minus is there. Shots on goal is there. I don't know about the blocks consistently, but he likes to play defense. He's a good 2-way player. So fire up some Anthony Duclair for the Panthers for sure. Before we move on to our divisional leaders and bubble teams, if you haven't, please be sure to like and share the video and follow us on YouTube / Take It to the Hizzy. Let's go. All right, let's jump into our division winners. This Hawks game has taken forever to start, by the way. I turned it on at 7:30. It's 8:09. It hasn't started yet. What are they doing? Trying to freeze the ice? What the hell's going on here? They're just dropping the puck now.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, that's a very long delay.
Yeah, I could have been watching the Tampa game. Obviously, you and I are having a conversation, but every time they'd flip, something on, they'd have highlights or some fun stat for me to ramble off. So I was like, whatever, I'll keep it on. But dear God, 7:30 start. The sports books probably would have taken that bet off at 7:45. It's like, what the hell? 7:30 start my ass. 40 minutes later, you're killing me. All right, let's jump into the divisions here. Right now in the Central, we've got Carolina leading the way over the Panthers and Tampa Bay. 62-61 to the Panthers. Tampa 60, Nashville 49, and my Blackhawks 47 and Dallas 46. And I say all these teams because it really is that tight here after those top 3 teams. You kind of have almost 2 divisions in one. You got the upper echelon here in Carolina, Florida, and Tampa Bay, all within a game of each other, 62, 61, and 60 points. And then you got the same thing between Nashville, Chicago, and Dallas, who are within a game and a half of each other. Nashville 49, Chicago 47, and Dallas 46. So we'll start at the top here, Nick. Do you believe Carolina to finish out the year as a lead dog, or are you more invested in, say, Florida or Tampa Bay?
I'm gonna say that Carolina finishes strong. It's kind of crazy how you talked about the two divisions, like it's like a cliff after
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And to be able to rise above the cream that high up and up above the crop that high up, and then also stay as first in those three teams, I think they're gonna finish strong. And I'm gonna say that they win the division.
Man, that's really tough. That's a really tough threesome to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm going Florida. I'm going Joe Quenneville, reviving the Sunrise State.
Yeah.
With hockey, that is, right. They've been really good. I mean, recently they've had their highs, their lows, but I mean, this division has swapped leaders all year long. I'm going to go with Quenneville. I think they got what it takes here. Let me look at the value. We're looking at the Panthers at plus 450. Plus 450. Let's take a look at their schedule a little bit. Let's peel that back. And they're actually up right now. Tampa's up too. They're up over Carolina. So we'll see some realignment after this evening for certain. But let's take a look at Florida really quick and kind of look at their schedule. So Florida, they've got Columbus, nice, very nice. But Carolina, Nashville after that, not so great. So they actually end on a strong note schedule-wise. So it may be a little bit tough, but I believe in them. So they've got Columbus. That's going to be back-to-back wins. Let's take home some profit while we can on some easy picks here. I like Florida tonight as we came into this game, as we said earlier. I'll like them again tomorrow on 420, back-to-back games. Let's go. Slim Jim, Doge, Weed, and the Florida Panthers, 420. Let's go, baby. Right? After that, they've got a couple of games up against Carolina. That's that gets into some deeper water there. Nashville, I think they maybe split that series. Chicago, same thing. They split that. They'll beat Dallas, but then they've got Tampa to close it out. I say that series right there, May 8th, May 10th, knock on wood, those games happen on time, right? COVID, we never know. I say that those two games decide who wins this division between Florida and Tampa, whatever. That sounds kind of a weird thing to say. The Panthers and the Lightning. I say those two games decide this division.
Yeah, I definitely see that. That's a tough schedule after the Jackets. But I mean, I would have called it the exact same way that you said. But I still think that Carolina's going to win.
Let's take a look at Carolina's schedule. So Carolina, we've got Tampa Bay, tough, not easy, right? Still could win. I mean, they're. I think that's a split. Maybe they lose today but win tomorrow, right? Then they get Florida again, a tough matchup. We'll call it a split. Dallas, I'm going to say that they beat Dallas in 2 games in Dallas. That's a tough ask. By the way, all these games I just listed off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row starting tonight on the road. That's a tough ask. But they close it out with a very friendly schedule. We've got Detroit at home, Columbus at home, back-to-back dubs right there. But 3 in a row up against Chicago. That's going to be their telling series, to be honest with you. If they take home 3 wins right there, the division will be theirs, in my opinion. But if they even lose 1, they've got Nashville back-to-back games on the road to close it out. So in my opinion, they need to sweep Chicago at home.
Oh yeah,
at home.
Yeah. With the tougher teams, they do have to split the series, but they just need to keep the momentum going, and just try and take it into the playoffs so that they start strong, and try and bring home a cup.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's stay in the division. Let's go down to the bottom here. Bottom 3. We've got 1 spot, but 3 teams. We've got Nashville, Chicago, and Dallas. Dallas has the most games left to play, but they're only a game and a half out from Nashville. So I guess essentially, who do you trust the most? Nashville with the 1 game advantage over the Blackhawks, or the Blackhawks, who are just treading water, honestly, right now. 5 minutes into this one, 0-0. Nashville up 3 shots to 1 over Chicago. See what we get here. But I guess, do you trust Dallas to essentially rally with more games available? The Blackhawks, who are treading water, or Nashville, who's just on, kind of on fire?
I'm going to take Nashville. Chicago. I really would love to believe in the story of Chicago. If they had Taves, I would definitely be believing hard. But they kind of ran out of steam, and I think Nashville is going to take it home. Dallas just hasn't been right the entire season. They have 12 overtime losses compared to everyone else. The most is 9, which is Columbus. Everyone else is not above 6. So it's been tough season for them. I don't trust them though. So I'm gonna say Nashville is in that last tier.
I gotta go Chicago hockey. I gotta go with my Blackhawks, man. If they get a win tonight, they're gonna be in a much better position. They'll still have a game to go on Nashville. They'll just leapfrog them in the standings, and I'm gonna trust them to write it out. I'll pull up their schedule here. Maybe you can pull up Nashville schedule, and I can get the Chicago's up. We can kind of trade on that a little bit. Actually, I was going to say, I think I have their schedule up. I don't. So let me get Chicago's up. And if you get Nashville's up before me, just let me know.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
So Nashville has 3 games against Chicago.
Let's go.
Yeah.
As I said that, Nashville scored.
For the Panthers, at home, 2 games, and then Dallas, 2 games with Columbus, and then 2 games to end the season with Carolina.
I mean, despite Chicago, that's pretty tough. That's it is. Tough. That's not easy. Let me see if I can get up Chicago's here. So Chicago, we've got it doesn't look easy, Nick. Nashville 3 in a row, like we mentioned. Tampa Bay, Florida, Carolina, Dallas. I mean, that's a tough line. That's a tough line. I'm trying to see the replay here. I mean, I believe in them. I got to ride with my guys all the way. I can't pick against them. Of any team, this is my squad. Do or die. I was staying up late at night listening to the Blackhawks on the radio. I'm talking, Alexei Zhamnov, Tony Amani, Kyle Calder, Tyler Arneson. I could go on and on. Eric Daze. Like, we were god stinking awful. I ride with this team until I am dead in my grave. So I got to ride them out. I just can't talk up Nashville the same way. I just can't do it. And I got to just put that energy out there just the same. So let's go Hawks. All right, we'll stop with the rambling on the Blackhawks there and move over to the Eastern Conference. Your boys, the Capitals, taking care of business right now. Leaders in the clubhouse, 62 points over the Islanders at 60, Pittsburgh at 59, and then Boston at 56. So you got your Caps riding out, I'm assuming?
Absolutely.
There you go.
So the only team I'm really concerned about, 2 teams. The Islanders, just because Barry Trotz is the coach of them, kind of like how you have massive respect for Quenneville. I have massive respect for Trotz.
Yep.
And I think that he can coach any team to greatness. And then Boston, they've kind of been streaking with the addition of Taylor Hall, but with Washington getting the Mantha trade happening, and getting another goal scorer, I think that was a bigger move than what I originally assumed. Not saying that Mantha's skill set had anything to do with it. It was just, I was like, man, we kind of have our offense set up, but we really did need another goal scorer to try and help us. But I'm gonna take Washington to win it. Hopefully that doesn't just end the success there. That's a lot of seasons of winning the President's Cup and being upset in the playoffs. So I'm going to say that they win, but I'm not going to say anything on the cup now. I don't want to jinx anything.
I'm going to say it ends in a tie, but the Caps still take the division, essentially. I say they tie with the Islanders, and they still win the division.
Yeah, I say they win the division. So
let me see if I get the odds pulled up. So they've got, I don't know how
the Bruins winning.
I don't understand it at all. They're
because
still
the Taylor Hall edition.
Come on, though. I mean, 56 points, though. A 7-point. What is that? A 6-point swing. That's a 3-game swing. I don't think so.
Kind of like an epic collapse, to be honest.
I don't think so. So right now, you can get the Capitals at plus 240, and you can get the Islanders at plus 250. I love either of those options because I think one of those teams will take it home. Honestly, I think they finished with the same record. I don't know who will have the tiebreaker between the 2 teams, but I think it'll be that close. What do we think about the bubble here? We've got the Bruins. Are they just going to hold it down? They're at 56 points to the Rangers 52. The Rangers, they're surging a little bit. Shesterkin's been on fire, but I don't think there's enough left in the tank here. I think the Bruins just outright take home this 4th spot or whatever. They swap with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if anything, switch with Pittsburgh, but they definitely got the 4th spot locked down. The addition of Taylor Hall just kind of shows they expect another deep run.
Yeah, honestly, I think that move just puts the Rangers and the Flyers behind the 8 ball. I just think they're going to be locked out of the playoffs here.
Yep.
I don't trust. I mean, Pittsburgh 7-point swing. You know, they're 7 points ahead of the Rangers. I don't like them to fall out.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me the Islanders or the Caps on the division, and give me the Bruins and the Penguins to round out the playoffs. What do you think, though? Wow, man, that's going to set up potentially the Islanders and the Bruins in the first round. That's just bullshit. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Because the way we've got COVID playoffs set up, viewers here, if you're not familiar, the first round of the playoffs is going to be based on your division. So, for example, in the East, the Caps will play right now the way it's set up, the Bruins in the first round. Also, absolute, utter bullshit. It's just not right. It's just not right. I mean, it makes a great matchup for viewership, but being the Caps and finishing first in your division and playing a team like the Bruins, that's just wrong. I'm sorry. That's not right. That's not fair. You know, I mean, the middle matchup will be better. It'll be a little bit, more even keel between potentially the Islanders and the Bruins if they overtake Pittsburgh. But, Pittsburgh and Washington, I think that's a fair first round. But, man, the Islanders or whoever essentially is going to get the Bruins in the first round in that division, they're getting a shaft. I absolutely hate it. But who would you like there? We'll say it goes Capitals, Islanders, Bruins, Pittsburgh. Who do you like between Pittsburgh's and the Caps? Probably the Caps, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like Pittsburgh.
So we'll go to the Islanders and Bruins. Like, that's a crazy matchup. 7 games right off the get. I mean, that's the prop I'd be looking for as soon as I see those two teams lined up. This one's going to 7 games.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Who would take it?
I'm going to say Trotz. Trotz leads the team.
Islanders.
I think that Taylor Hall is like, it's hard to say, but I think he's kind of like overrated, but he does help the team win. But I think when crunch time comes, I think Trotz's leadership will overcome Hall's,
Extra boost.
Extra boost, like he'll figure out a way to shut him down.
Well, we got to keep in mind that the Islanders got an extra boost as well. They've got Kyle Palmieri. They've got Pavel Sajak from the Devils in their trade. So I think it's also taking a little bit of time for the team chemistry to work up. I think that move is going to be a little bit better in the playoffs. And that is exactly why I'd have them going to 7 games. But I'd probably take the Bruins or whoever the home team is, because now we've got fans. We've got limited fans in the stadium. So give me the home team in a 7-game series. Mm-hmm. All right, next up we've got the North. We've got Toronto 61 points, Winnipeg 57, Edmonton 54, Montreal 47, Calgary sitting out of the playoffs at 41. So can Winnipeg catch Toronto? I'm going to say no.
No.
It's a pretty well spread out division. You got a 4-point gap between first to second, a 3-point gap from second to third, and a 7-point gap from third to fourth. So I guess we'll just go there because I think we're both pretty confident Toronto finishes this one out on top. Mm-hmm. Can Calgary catch Montreal from fifth to fourth as a 6-point spread here?
We're talking about different teams here.
Yeah, I know.
Montreal's sliding, but they still are like a very good team. Mm-hmm. And Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Toronto have gone through the gauntlet, I feel like, because those teams are just so high-powered. More Toronto and Edmonton, but Winnipeg has really stood with them, and Hellebuck has faced some great shooters in the North and been able to get second place. So I do not see Calgary even touching the top echelon of the North.
All right, I'm agreeing with you here. What do you think about the playoff picture? Because this one's pretty straightforward. Like the points are just too well spread out, and what you get from the talent wise, like I feel like this is exactly how the order is going to finish. Maybe Calgary and Vancouver and Ottawa mix it up a little bit. I don't know, but even them, you got a 4-point spread between Calgary and Vancouver. You have a 3-point spread between Vancouver and Ottawa. I feel like this is exactly how the year is going to end. So we'll talk a little bit on the playoffs. You got Toronto and Montreal in the first round, pretty clean. We're going to say Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
What about Winnipeg and Edmonton? I feel like that's a lot closer. I might actually say Edmonton upsets and makes it out of the first round.
That'd be crazy. Man, if Winnipeg didn't have Hellebuck, I would be like game over for Edmonton. But I feel like Hellebuck's gonna win. Not that I don't love Edmonton, but I feel like Winnipeg is gonna take him out.
I don't know, man. This year, anything is possible. I mean, I guess last year and this year with COVID and everything, the way this game is played now on such an accelerated schedule. Can't get my words out of my mouth. Such an accelerated schedule. I'm not really sure. I feel like Edmonton has been, decent enough to give me enough faith to say that they can beat Winnipeg. They've played pretty well up against them this year. I think they match up pretty evenly. Edmonton, high octane offense. Winnipeg, a grittier defensive two-way team. I think they'll each give each other a hard time. Give me 6 or 7 games and give me Edmonton in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check the odds here for the division. I think it's, again, pretty straightforward. Yeah. It leaves minus 550 to finish on top. The Jets plus 450. I don't think there's any value here. Oilers plus 800, no value. Plus 5,000 for the Canadiens, again, no value. So let's wrap up our last division here. Woo! 2 heavyweights in Colorado and Vegas, both tied at 64 points. Vegas, though, does have one more regulation win over them, 31 wins over Colorado's 30. Colorado has a couple extra overtime losses. Minnesota behind them at 57 points. No chance for the division. But we've got a great duel in Arizona versus St. Louis for the last spot for the playoffs. We'll get to that here in a second. Who finishes top dog here, Colorado or Vegas?
Vegas. They've been there before. And,
steal my picks.
I'll take Colorado.
Either side. All right, fine. Take Colorado. I can make an argument for either side.
I take Colorado because I feel like Vegas, they've been there before and they're just kind of like, let's just get to the playoffs. Like they don't need to win the President's Cup.
You pull up Colorado's schedule. I'll pull up Vegas's.
All right.
Well, let's get down to it because we got to dive into this one. Schedule's really going to matter. I know that Vegas has the Sharks tonight. That's not fair. If they just right.
Oh, here we go. This is beautiful setup. This is the same setup I look for in stocks. You know what I'm saying?
All right, what do you got?
St. Louis Blues next 2 games. Then Vegas Knights, let's say split. 4 games against San Jose, 2 games against Los Angeles. Give me Colorado.
I don't know, man. I only see 2 games for Vegas here. Just 2 games that I'm going to – 4 games because I do play Colorado. So 4 games total in what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. 8 and 4, essentially. I'm saying they're going to go at minimum the rest of the season, 8 and 4. So the next 2, San Jose wins, Anaheim win, Colorado. You can have both of them. You take 2 losses, ding ding. At Arizona, 2 games in a row, wins. At Minnesota, you can have 2 losses there. Take 2 losses on the road in Minnesota. They probably won't. Well, let's give it to them. Go ahead. 2 to Minnesota to close out the season. St. Louis at San Jose. 8 and 4 at worst. At 8 and 4 at worst to finish this season.
So you gave me the 2 wins. Yep. Like
I'm saying it's a split. I'm saying if I'm a betting man, I'm saying it's a split. But you can have them. Well, you can have those 2 wins.
You don't want to give them to me because I have Colorado running the table.
Oh, they're not losing.
They're not losing. There's no way. If you give me those 2, because I split that series. You give me those 2, they ain't losing the season. All
right, so let's check the odds. What do the books say here? They've got the Avalanche as a minus 300 favorite. Wow. I'm sweating. Just getting my work in. I'm under the lights, getting the picks in, feeling good, feeling right. Monday night, let's go. Haven't felt that much sweat in my head in a while, though. Let's go. No more shaving my head. But yeah, I mean, the books are on the Avalanche, so maybe I'm going to have to correct here. But, that series, I mean, we'll come back to that one for sure. That's going to be it, right? I mean, if Colorado loses that series to Vegas, it's going to go the other way. So that series will probably define the division. And I think it's important. I think they're going to have to ride this one out and really play for the division because, I mean, you're looking at either taking on Minnesota in the first round or one of these thumpers in Arizona or St. Louis. And now let's revert to them, Arizona or St. Louis. Who do you got riding it out? I'm going the Yotes. They're just a grittier team. I also hate the fucking Blues. I got to go a little bit of homer, right? But Blues have been good to start the year, but they've just been in a complete dive since midway through the season. As I said earlier, they've corrected some, but not enough to give me playoff hopes for sure. Where are you at?
So I'm looking at St. Louis Blues schedule because I really wanted to know if I didn't want to put bias towards them.
Yeah, I'll pull up the Yotes. Good call.
So they have 2 games against the Avalanche, loses. They have 4 games against Minnesota, 2 games away, 2 games home. Doesn't matter. They're still losing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them Anaheim both games. Then 2 games against the Knights, and then they're gonna win against the Kings, lose against the Wild to finish up the season.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. LL. So that's 6 L's, 2 6, 2 8, 3 8, 3 4, 3 10.
Sorry, I pulled up the wrong schedule, so I can't counter. You're saying they're going to go what to finish?
3 and 10.
Ouch. The Blues, yeah, they're definitely not making it shit. So let's see.
Yeah.
The Coyotes, they have Minnesota back to back. I'm going to say split. What is it? Jinx getting on you?
Yeah.
I'm going to say they split the series with Minnesota. They're going to win tonight, lose the next one on 4/21. Then they've got a nice, really light schedule. LA, San Jose back to back. Vegas back to back. I'll take the losses there. Los Angeles, I'll say we split that one, and San Jose will say they take that home. So give me, let's see, 1-1, 2-1, 3-2, 3-4. We'll say 5-4, and 7-4 to finish the year. So yeah, I'm going the Yotes.
There you go. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think they're just a young, fresh team, and I'm just rooting for them, to be honest with you. I like what they've put together this year. I like me some Phil Kessel, some Nick Schmaltz. They've got some Hjalmarsson out there. I think he hasn't been healthy in a bit, but still, I got to root for some of my old Blackhawks, some of my old heads. So yeah, give me the Yotes to finish ahead of the Blues and make the playoffs. But obviously not going to finish as the division leader. Well out of that conversation. But looking at the first round, I don't think that Arizona will take care of business up against Colorado or Vegas. So we'll say Colorado finishes, on top. What do you think between Vegas and Minnesota? You still have Vegas moving on after that? It's a good matchup. I lose you? You're muted.
All right. I'm gonna say Minnesota. I think that Minnesota has been really hot this year, like offensively, and I think that the steady style of Vegas, I feel like it's not going to lead them to like a playoff series win.
Okay, I'm still going to take Vegas in the second round, but I have loved Minnesota this year. Big on Kaprizov on fantasy. Joel Eriksson Ek was a big favorite of mine early to start this year. He had a booming start to 2021. It tailed off. I think he actually went out with COVID and it slowed down a little bit. But Matt Zuccarello, I got him in DFS going tonight, so I like that. I've been all over Minnesota this year, so I think they do have a good chance to make it out of the first. But I don't think they're gonna do it up against Vegas. I think that's gonna be a little tougher. Mm-hmm. All right, let's close out the show with some live betting options here. I got them up. We are looking at Tampa over the Hurricanes, 2-1. Wish I could have the periods pulled up here. It doesn't have periods. They're in the second period. Also don't have the time left. 4:53 left in the second. There we go. That's a little bit better. Right now, the puck line, God, this thing is all over the place. Plus 1.5, minus 163 for the Hurricanes. I love that. They're down by 1 right now. That was the number coming into the game. Coming in, you were looking at like minus 240 or so. So you're actually getting a little bit better value right now. Where are you at on this one? You think Tampa still takes it home?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Right now, the live number is 5.5 goals. We're looking at 3. I like the over 5.5.
Yeah, I like the over and 5.5 too.
Right now, it's paying minus 111. So smash the over on Carolina and Tampa Bay. I think that one's going to sail here. Give me another goal for the Hurricanes or the Lightning. But my favorite one in this game still is the Hurricanes cover the plus 1.5. Next up, we've got Jackets and the Panthers. Panthers up 3-1. They are covering the minus 1.5. I like that. Right now, their number live is minus 2.5. I would stay away. I think that Columbus can still get involved in this one. What do you think about the total of 6.5, though? I kind of like the under. We got 4:30 left in the second. 4 goals.
Panthers on a power play.
Mm-hmm.
They might not score, always possible. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, actually, they did score, I think. It's 1-3 now.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. So there's no longer a power play. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say the under.
Okay. I got my Blackhawks on a power play right now. I don't know if you remember, they were at one point like top 3 in the league on power play. They've drifted down to 7th. Let's see what we can get right here. We're trailing 1-0. Yeah, I like the Panthers to close this one down 4-1, 5-1. So I'm going to take under 6.5 goals and give me the Panthers to cover the puck line. Next up, we've got the Dallas Stars up over the Red Wings. We've got 17:22 left in the second period. Red Wings covering the number, which I still like. I like them to cover the plus 1.5. But we're looking at a goal total of 4.5. Can we hit over it?
No, because I see a 3-1 win.
Okay, we were both on the under though to start this game, so we're headed in the right direction here. So I would still hammer the under 4.5. I'm going to say a 2-1 win either way. Next up, we've got the Blackhawks and the Predators. As I mentioned, the Predators are up 1-0. Patrick Kane.
1-1.
Oh, you bastard, Nick! I haven't seen it.
I forgot.
Oh, you son of a bitch, Nick! And there's the Kaner assist. Everybody, give Nick a golf clap. Give golf clap for Nick on the Kane assist tonight. He had over the half assist. You spoiled it for me.
Sorry, I thought you saw it. I was like, wait a second, it's a 1-1, bro.
DeBrincat got it, which I'm all about. I got the Blackhawks covering the number tonight, so that puts me in a much better position. Kane gets one on net. Pius Suter takes the rebound. Nice little backhand dish to DeBrincat. Easy wide open goal. You'll take that all day, twice on Tuesdays. Let's go, baby. Hammered down on the Hawks. Tied up right now. So we're looking at the Hawks still plus 1.5. You got even money right now on the goals. You got to hammer that. Plus 109 on the money line. Any love for the Hawks? You just saw the goal.
It was a power play goal. It's a long game. There's two more periods. So I'm gonna say no, but not because I don't like the Blackhawks.
All right, fair enough. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. We'll see how these picks worked out next week. Close of the fantasy hockey season. We're into the playoffs now, so we'll be firing up playoff talk next week. Obviously, only about 10 to 12 games to go for the regular season. So once we get into the playoffs, we'll be sticking strictly to the playoff picks. Episodes are going to be a lot shorter, so that's all we're going to have to cover. We got anything to close it out with, Nick?
Nope. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yep. Take care. Be well, everybody. We'll see you next week. Later.
See ya.